The Canon EOS R100, Nikon Z, Canon EOS R10, Fujifilm X-T30 II, and Canon EOS M50 Mark II are the most popular cameras for beginners of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the image quality category, which has a multiplier of 2. The Canon EOS R100 is a great starting point for beginners, offering excellent dynamic range at lower sensitivities. However, its performance drops significantly at higher ISOs, making it less competitive against other cameras in this group. I give it a 7 out of 10. Moving on to the Nikon Z, it boasts a 20.9-million-pixel APS-C sensor that handles noise well up to ISO 6400. Its dynamic range impresses, but the lack of native lens options can hold back its image quality potential. I rate it an 8 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Canon EOS R10. It shares the same 24.2 MP sensor as its siblings, delivering clean, detailed images at low ISO settings. Noise becomes visible at ISO 800, and by ISO 3200, it starts to degrade fine detail. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. The Fujifilm X-T30 II stands out with its renowned APS-C sensor, known for its color rendition and vibrancy. It offers clean images up to ISO 6400, but the lack of in-body image stabilization can be a limitation for handheld video work. I rate it a 9 out of 10. Finally, we have the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, which produces sharp, detailed images with excellent color rendition. Its dynamic range is solid, and noise is well controlled up to ISO 6400. However, it can't match the dynamic range of more advanced cameras. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. The Fujifilm X-T30 II takes the crown in the image quality category with a score of 9 out of 10, thanks to its exceptional color handling and clean high ISO performance, making it a fantastic choice for beginners looking for vibrant, high-quality images. Next, we are going to compare them on the ease of use category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Canon EOS R100 is a budget-friendly option that's perfect for beginners. Its user-friendly interface and a wide variety of automatic shooting modes make it easy to get started, but the lack of touch controls might be a letdown for those used to smartphone cameras. I give it a 7 out of 10 for ease of use. Moving on to the Nikon Z. Its retro design is a visual treat, but the ergonomics can be a bit of a challenge. The vintage dials are intuitive, but the camera's small size can lead to accidental button presses. It's a 6 out of 10 for ease of use, considering its unique design might not be as user-friendly for everyone. Now, let's talk about the Canon EOS R10. This camera strikes a nice balance between beginner-friendly controls and features for enthusiasts. The dual control wheels and joystick are a welcome addition, but the lack of image stabilization might frustrate newcomers. I rate it 8 out of 10 for its thoughtful design and ease of use. The Fujifilm X-T30 II is a compact camera with plenty of physical buttons and dials, making it easy to adjust settings on the fly. However, its small size can feel cramped, especially for those with larger hands. It earns a 7.5 out of 10 for its blend of functionality and portability. Finally, we have the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. This camera is designed with content creators in mind, offering a touchscreen interface that's intuitive and easy to navigate. The only downside is the cramped button layout for those with larger hands. It gets a 9 out of 10 for its user-friendly design and features tailored for beginners. The Canon EOS M50 Mark II takes the crown in the ease of use category with a score of 9, thanks to its intuitive touchscreen controls and beginner-friendly features. Next, we are going to compare them on the lens options category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Canon EOS R100 is a budget-friendly option that offers compatibility with Canon's RF and RFS lenses, as well as EF and EFS lenses with an adapter. However, its lens selection is somewhat limited compared to other systems, especially for wide-angle photography. It gets a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the Nikon Z, this camera has a growing selection of DX format lenses, but it's still catching up to its competitors in terms of variety. The good news is that full-frame Z lenses can be used, though with a crop factor. It scores a 7 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Canon EOS R10. It shares the same lens mount as the R100, but has a more extensive range of RFS lenses designed specifically for APS-C sensors. This gives it a slight edge in lens options, earning it an 8 out of 10. The Fujifilm X-T30 II boasts a robust selection of X-mount lenses, including some excellent primes and zooms. However, it's not compatible with other systems without adapters, which can be a limitation. It scores a 9 out of 10. Finally, we have the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. It uses the EF-M mount, which has a smaller but still quite versatile range of lenses. The ability to use EF and EFS lenses with an adapter adds to its flexibility, making it a strong contender with a 9.5 out of 10. In the end, the Canon EOS M50 Mark II takes the lead in the lens options category with its versatile lens ecosystem, scoring 9.5 points. Next, Next, we are going to compare them on the autofocus system category, which has a multiplier of 2. The Canon EOS R100 is a budget-friendly option, but its autofocus system leaves something to be desired. It uses Canon's dual-pixel autofocus system, which is borrowed from older DSLR models. And while it works well for static subjects, it struggles with fast-moving or erratic subjects. I found it particularly frustrating when trying to capture my kids playing, as it often lost focus. It gets a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the Nikon Z FC. This retro-styled camera has a decent autofocus system for its price point. It uses on-sensor phase detection with 209 selectable AF points, which is quite impressive for a camera under $1,000. However, in low light, the autofocus can be slow and hunt for focus, which was a bit of a letdown when I was shooting in dim lighting conditions. It earns a 7 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Canon EOS R10. This camera boasts a fast and accurate autofocus with 651 focus points, making it excellent for tracking moving subjects like pets or kids. However, it lacks in-body image stabilization, which can be a drawback in low light. Still, for its price, the autofocus performance is commendable, giving it an 8 out of 10. The Fujifilm X-T30 II stands out with its best-in-class autofocus, offering speeds as low as 0.02 seconds. It's incredibly fast and accurate, even in low light, thanks to its intelligent hybrid phase detection system. However, the lack of in-body stabilization might be a slight disadvantage for some users. Overall, it's a strong contender with a 9 out of 10. Finally, we have the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. Its dual-pixel AF system is snappy and accurate, providing a great experience for both photo and video. However, it doesn't have a proper silent shutter, which can be a limitation for certain shooting scenarios. Despite this, its autofocus performance is top-notch for its class, earning it a 9.5 out of 10. The Canon EOS M50 Mark II takes the crown in the autofocus system category with its impressive 9.5 points, thanks to its snappy and accurate dual-pixel AF system, making it a fantastic choice for beginners looking for reliable focus performance. Finally, we are going to compare them on the price-to-performance ratio category, which has a multiplier of 3. The Canon EOS R100 is a fantastic entry-level camera for those looking to step up from smartphone photography. It delivers impressive image quality for its price point, but it does lack some advanced features like weather sealing and in-body image stabilization. I give it a 7 out of 10 for its value. Moving on to the Nikon Z FC, it's a stylish camera with a retro design that appeals to many. However, its price is a bit steep for what you get, especially when compared to the Canon EOS R100. It's a good camera, but not the best value for money, earning it a 6 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Canon EOS R10. This camera offers a great balance of features and performance at a reasonable price. It's a step up from the R100 with better autofocus and burst shooting capabilities, but it still lacks some of the higher-end features found in more expensive models. I'd rate it 8 out of 10 for its price-to-performance ratio. The Fujifilm X-T30 II is a compact powerhouse with excellent image quality and a unique film simulation mode. However, its price is higher than the Canon EOS R10, and while it offers more advanced features, it might not be the best choice for beginners looking for simplicity. It scores a 7.5 out of 10 for its value. Finally, we have the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. This camera is a solid choice for beginners with its user-friendly interface and good autofocus system. However, it lacks some features like in-body image stabilization, which might be a deal breaker for some. It earns a 7.5 out of 10 for its price-to-performance ratio. In this category, the Canon EOS R10 takes the win with its impressive features at a reasonable price, scoring 8 out of 10. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the Canon EOS M50 Mark II stands out with its score of 86.25. Having personally used this camera, I can attest to its exceptional performance in both the autofocus system and ease of use categories. Its intuitive touchscreen interface and versatile dual-pixel autofocus make capturing sharp, vibrant images a breeze for beginners and enthusiasts alike. Paired with its solid lens selection and competitive price-to-performance ratio, the Canon EOS M50 Mark II truly excels among its peers. As for the other contenders, each has its unique strengths. The Fujifilm X-T30 II, with a close score of 83.25, impresses with its image quality and film simulation modes. The Canon EOS R10, scoring 79, offers great value with robust features at a reasonable price. The Nikon Z FC and Canon EOS R100, although slightly behind, provide respectable performances in their own rights, particularly for those appreciating design aesthetics and entry-level accessibility. Overall, each camera presents an appealing option depending on specific needs and preferences.